Welcome to Big Pat Sports Talk. What's going on YouTube? What's going on Instagram and Twitter, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of Big Pat Sports Talk. And today's Giants talk, we're talking about Giants OTAs, and it's getting crazy out there with the OTAs now, man. I think it's day 6. And, man, we got a lot of things to talk about in this video. I'm going to try to keep it short as possible for you guys. But, man, we got a lot of things to talk about, man. First things first, let's get into it. We're going to talk about Mr. Wink Martindale, new defensive coordinator for the Giants defense. And this is coming from Art Stapleton. He says Giants defensive coordinator Wink Martindale, biggest lesson he learned with all the cornerback injuries in Baltimore last year, don't go to DoorDash to find a backup corner. Meaning, this is why we've been signing all the corners that we've been signing in free agency this year. We had to let go of Bradbury, unfortunately. I know a lot of Giants fans, you're disappointed about us releasing Bradbury, but we've signed a bunch of corners going into this free agency period, and they're battling in OTAs. These guys are truly battling out there in OTAs. Wink Martindale, they're saying other things like this. Coming from Dan Solomon, he says Dable said offensive coaches have a hard time preparing for Wink's system. That's why they hired him. That's one of the main reasons why we hired him. Shout out to the Big Blue crew for getting all these tweets out there. That's why they hired him. That means the offense is going to be better this year because iron sharpens iron. The way he's calling these defenses is making it difficult for the offense to pick up. And so when they come to real gameplay, when they come to real game time, getting out there on the field, these boys are prepared. These boys have seen the most from Wink Martindale. They've seen the blitzes. They've seen the different formations. They've seen the different formations of a cornerback playing safety, the safety going down the cornerback. They've seen variations of different zones when linebackers are backing off or a defensive edge is backing off going to play into the zone. The middle linebacker is coming instead of the edge rusher, or the edge rusher is coming, but it's a DB coming from the outside on a different type blitz. So Daniel Jones, Wandel Robinson, all these guys are seeing these different variations of coverages. They're seeing these different blitzes. They're seeing different stunts. Man, this is OTAs is going crazy, man, and I love it because iron is sharper than iron. We have very good coaches now, and I can just imagine the battle that's going on out there with Dabo and Kafka's offense versus Wink Martindale's defensive system, man. I believe it's truly amazing, and this is one of the best parts about OTAs. This is one of the main things that I wanted to go on in OTAs. Wink Martindale versus Brian Dabo and Kafka. Let's get it. Let's see. Let the defense is benefiting. They're seeing different variations of how to use Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's been noted to be all over the field in OTAs, getting into that Alvin Kamara role, which I hope they continue to go with. You're gonna see plays by Wandel Robinson. Darius Slayton is actually balling out there in OTAs. You know. So they're seeing different variations of offenses. They're seeing different RPO types. They're seeing different scoring screens. They're seeing different blocking assignments by Evan Neal, Andrew Thomas. There's a battle going on for center. There's a battle going on for left guard. Glowinski at right guard. I think 3 of our positions are locked down, but it's Zudu, Max Garcia, Feliciano, all those guys. And we signed plenty of other guys in free agency as well. And we're going to talk about the offensive line in a little bit as well. But I think this is great, man. This is iron sharpening iron. This is good going against good. Unlike last year, it was a bad going against the bad. And that doesn't help anybody because bad versus bad equals bad. Good versus good can equal very good, can equal excellent in a year or so. So I'm definitely excited about these guys going into these OTAs and battling. They're competing. They're talking noise. They're getting. Man, we're gonna get into it in a second. And here's another good point about what's going on in OTAs, man. There's another good point what's going on in OTAs. He says Dable said Julian Love is dependable, smart, plays tough on tape. He's done a good job in his group being a leader. He's had good communication with Xavier McKinney. We can use him in a lot of the different roles, and he's ready for that challenge. I'm excited to hear that because I think we're going to have to depend on Julian Love a whole lot this year. First, we're going to have to depend on him being exactly what he said, being a very good leader, being dependable. I think we're going to use him as the strong safety. We're going to use him deep at times. We're going to use him at the line of scrimmage. We're going to use him to blitz. We're going to use him against the run. I think Julian Love is going to have a very prominent role in this defense, with Dane Belton and Yusuf Corker backing them up to spell him when he gets a little tired for doing everything that he does. You got to think, man, Julian Love has done everything that this organization has asked him to do. He's played all over the field his 3 years being here, and he hasn't complained not one bit. He's played slot corner. He's played safety. He's played outside corner. Hell, he played some money backer role for us. So he's very knowledgeable about the defense, and I think Wink Martindale loves this guy as a piece, and I think Wink Martindale is going to use him as Weapon X, man. I'm telling you, this guy's going to be all over the field. And like I said, that's why they drafted Dane Belton and Yusuf Corker to give him a spell when he needs that rest. So I do appreciate that Julian Love is stepping up. He's trying to be the leader of the secondary, which we need a very good leader of the secondary. So OTAs is going crazy, but this is just another point to where I think this team is different this year. This doesn't mean that they're going to go to the playoffs and win a Super Bowl or everything. I just think that the culture is really being built this time. I know that's a word that triggers a lot of Giants fans' culture, but there's a real culture being built this time, and there's real competition being built out there. Wink Martindale, very proud defensive coordinator. #1 defenses throughout his tenure with the Baltimore Ravens. Brian Daboll, very proud offensive coordinator. Built up Josh Allen to be what he was over there in Buffalo. Mike Kafka, quarterbacks coach. His first time being an offensive coordinator. Can he do it? He's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove that he should be the one calling plays. Is he getting a chance to call the plays? Everybody's fighting for a job, and everybody has a chip on their shoulder, man. And this is great. I just can't wait to see exactly what they do in the preseason, because I'm telling you, it's going to be lit. Hey, in more news, we got Daniel Jones connecting with that man that I told you that was going to be pretty good for us. The guy that was making fun of his height and his weight and everything, Mr. Wandel Robinson. Daniel Jones connected with Wandel Robinson for the first time. Check it out. Nice catch going against Aaron Robinson. Came down with the catch, man. I like the competitiveness. I like man. They are competing out there this year. That's a very good competitive catch right there. Very good coverage. But Wandel Robinson, you guys make fun of his height. You guys make fun of saying that he's small. What can he do at 5'8"? He just showed you what he can do. He just showed you what he can do. That right there, that was a very good catch, man. That was a very good catch. But let's get into some more things about what's been going on in training camp. That was just showing you a good catch. Hey, look, Dan Dugan. He says Tom Coughlin was in the Giants facility this week. Dope. A winner. We all know that he's a winner. He says Tom Coughlin was in the Giants facility this week. Brian Daboll didn't have a previous relationship with Coughlin, but said the two-time Super Bowl champ will be a good resource. Daboll joked about that he started his presser 10 minutes early in tribute. Man, that's very good. Tom Coughlin in the building, you know that's a winner. You know what he's about. Man, I appreciate the Big Blue Crew Twitter getting all this out. Man, OTAs was lit today. OTAs was lit today, bro. OTAs was lit today. Tom Coughlin in the building. And guess who else was in the building? We had Mr. Steve Smith Sr. in the building, even joking around saying that he was going to be the receivers coach this year. Steve Smith Sr. came in. He probably came to check out Wandel Robinson and Kadarius Toney to see exactly how they're doing. But Kadarius Toney is on the mound right now. He had a minor knee surgery. It's just a scope, nothing major. But he checked out Wandel Robinson today, and guess what? Wandel Robinson showed out. He made the video about joining the coaching staff as a receivers coach, but he was just playing. That's the type of guy that he is. But I'm quite sure that he was coming in there and he was coaching the receivers up. Guess what? Darius Slayton showed out today in OTA camp today. Hey, when a Hall of Famer's in the building, you show up, and you show out. That's another good thing that happened with the OTAs. I mean, man, he must have been pretty interested to come in and see exactly what we're doing. Steve Smith Sr. has no ties with the Giants. The only tie he really had was a bad tie, and that was Dave Gettleman. But Steve Smith came, and he probably came to see what the little guy Wandel Robinson was about. That everybody's talking about, he's too small and everything. That's the thing that they said about Steve Smith Sr. Think about that. And just to go over, here's some more highlights that they were talking about with OTAs today. They said some highlights of OTA number 6 after watching Saquon all over the formations, which means they're going to be using Saquon Barkley in that role, and I've been asking them to use him in that role. Daniel Bellinger, he's been very involved with the first team in the offense. I think Bellinger is actually going to sneak his way into that starting tight end role. Maybe not week 1, but definitely mid-season he will be our starting tight end. Adoree Jackson got beat by a lone TD by Darius Slayton today. But Adoree Jackson, like I said, that competing thing, came back with a pick 6. They said the receiver failed, but he still made the pick. Pick 6 is a pick 6. And remember when I told you guys earlier that people were fighting for jobs in the trenches this offseason? Remember when I told you guys that? And I told you there was going to be a fight. I had the 2 people wrong, but I told you there was going to be a fight. And look, and lo and behold, Corey Cunningham and Quincy Roche get into it. Corey Cunningham fighting to be a tackle on his team. Quincy Roche fighting to be the 3rd guy in the rotation behind Ojulari and Thibodeau. He's fighting with Ellerson Smith for playing time. He's fighting with Tamon Fox. He's fighting with Ryan Anderson. Hey, O'Shane Zimenez is still here. So he's fighting. He might be fighting for a roster position. We don't even know it. But I told you guys that people are going to start to try to mark their claim to this roster. And that's what happens when good goes against the good. When people are fighting for roster positions and everybody has talent and everybody's playing at their best, you're going to have a couple of scuffles out there. Am I for fighting? No. But I am for these guys competing. And when you got grown men that are that strong, that fast, and moving around, tempers are going to flare, man. And don't be surprised if you don't see more fighting coming out. Don't be surprised if you don't see more fighting coming out. Just gonna be honest with you. Don't be surprised. And I said there was gonna be a fight. I said wait to training camp, but shit, it happened in OTAs. So I mean, that's crazy right there. But man, everybody, that's what's been going on the OTAs. One last thing I want to get to. It says Adoree Jackson said that he texted all the DBs when James Bradberry was released to explain the business aspect and tell them it's all opportunity and reality going to hit, whether ready or not. That's leadership. Yeah, that is leadership. That's leadership. And he's trying to step up and be the leader of these DBs now that Bradberry is gone. And I thank him. I thank him for trying to step up and take that road. And he's right, man. These guys have to fight for position. And it's going to be one hell of a fight going through camp. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be one hell of a fight going through camp. And this is just OTAs and guys are fighting for supremacy. So imagine what's going to happen in training camp where guys actually start getting those pink slips of being released. It's going to get worse. It's going to get more competitive. It's going to get more fiery. There's going to be more tempers flaring. It's going to be more defenses brought out. It's going to be more offensive sets brought out. I can't wait. And I just had to make this video to show you guys that what's happening at OTAs, it's a different feel. I think it's going to get different results this year. And I think you're going to see a very different team. But that Wink Martindale's defense versus Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka offense, that's the battle that I'm waiting to see when it comes to training camp. Because that's what's going to make this team good. Going against those different variations of offenses, the defense is going to get better. And going against those different variations of the defense, the offense is going to get better. So I can't wait. But that's what's been happening at Giants OTAs day number 6. It was lit today. Steve Smith Sr. in the building. pick sixes, deep touchdowns, rookies catching touchdowns, Slayton catching touchdowns, fights. Wink going at it with Dabo and Kafka. Kafka trying out to call plays. Saquon Barkley all over the field. Is lit. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that join button if you want to join the Big Blue Crew and talk your talk with Big Pat Sports Talk. Because you know I'm going to talk my talk no matter what you thought. And until the next video, peace.